Hi students, in previous classes we discussed about what is a fermentation, what are the different types of fermentations like aerobic fermentations, anaerobic fermentations, then batch, fed batch and continuous fermentation systems. In this particular video, we will be discussing about surface, submerged and solid state fermentation. So let's discuss each type in detail. First one is surface fermentation. In surface fermentation, the microorganisms are cultivated on the surface of a liquid or solid substrate. Here, the microorganisms grow only on the surface of a liquid or solid substrate. It do not grow inside the medium. These techniques are very complicated and rarely used in industry. It is mainly used for the industrial production using the fungus Aspergillus niger. This fungus forms a mycelial mat on the liquid surface in aluminum or stainless steel trays. Usually, surface fermentations are carried out in trays made up of aluminum or stainless steel. These trays are stacked in fermentation rooms and filtered air is supplied, which uh, serves to supply oxygen and also help to control the temperature of fermentation. And now let's see what are the advantages of surface fermentation. It is easy to control and implement. No need for aeration and agitation. So no special instruments are required for aeration and agitation. Recovery of the product is quite easy. This is because the microorganisms are not dispersing into the medium. They grow only on the surface, so we can easily extract the product. Only the temperature and humidity of the fermentation need controlling. It can be used easily in small plants. The fermentation growth is concentrated due to a high evaporation rate during fermentation. Expenses and losses during recovery and purification are low. And coming to its limitations, building investment costs are high. Personal expenses are high in developed industrial countries. We have to pay extremely high wages to the workers. Fermentation time is long and productivity is low. Now the second type is solid state fermentation. It is also known as solid substrate fermentation, or simply we can call it as SSF. Here the fermentation media or substrate will be solid in state. That is, we use solid substrates to grow microorganisms. The microorganisms are grown on a solid substratum in the absence or near absence of water. The moisture content of the substrates in SSF is usually maintained below 15%. And the substrates used in SSF. Many domestic, industrial and agricultural wastes are efficiently used as substrates in SSF. In SSF, we usually use agricultural or domestic or industrial wastes as fermentation medium. These substrates are complex, heterogeneous and insoluble in water. These are some of the commonly used substrates. It include rice bran, wheat bran, apple pomace, and various oil cakes such as groundnut oil cake, coconut oil cake, soybean oil cake, then cereal grains, tea waste, wood shavings, corn cobs, sawdust, cassava bagasse, coffee husk, coffee pulp, and sugarcane bagasse. This cassava bagasse is the waste material left after the extraction of starch from cassava or tapioca. Sugarcane bagasse is the waste materials remaining after the extraction of sugar juice, and apple pomace is nothing but the solid wastes remaining after the extraction of juice from apples. So these are the commonly used waste products in SSF. From these wastes, we can generate useful products. SSF is normally carried out as a non-aseptic process. That means SSF does not require strict sterilization and aseptic conditions. So we can minimize sterilization costs. Ample air circulation between the substrate should be ensured for successful fermentation. Then excess heat will be generated in SSF, so we have to cool by providing adequate air circulation. Then coming to the bioreactors used for SSF. The bioreactors designed for SSF are much simpler compared to liquid state fermentations. The first one is drum fermenter. It consists of a drum type vessel, usually equipped with a rotating device and arrangements for air circulation. Growth of the microorganism in this type of fermenter is considered to be better and more uniform than tray fermenter. Second type is tray fermenter. The tray fermenters are simplest and can be constructed using wood, metals or plastic materials. The bottom of the tray is perforated in such a way that it can hold the substrate and allows adequate aeration. Koji fermentations are usually carried out using this fermenter. Tray fermenters, however, require large operational area and it is labor intensive. And the third type of fermenter used for SSF is column fermenter. Column fermenter consists of a glass or plastic column with lids at both ends. It is fitted with a jacket for circulation of water to control the temperature of fermentation. Alternatively, the whole column may be placed in a temperature controlled water bath. Usually, air is circulated from bottom to top. These are the diagrams of the three types of fermenters, that is tower fermenter, drum fermenter and forced aeration fermenter. And coming to the microorganisms used in SSF, fungi are the best suited organisms for SSF. This is because fungi require least moisture for growth, and other reasons are fungal hyphae can easily penetrate into the solid substrates. They also produce a variety of hydrolytic enzymes. With the help of these enzymes, they can break down these complex substrates into simpler one, and they can easily use this nutrients. Bacteria and yeasts which require higher moisture content can also be used for SSF, but with a lower yield. Then there are several factors which affect SSF. These factors include pre-treatment of the substrate. In most of the cases, the solid substrates used for SSF must be pre-treated. Such pre-treatments include mechanical, chemical or biochemical treatments to enhance the availability of bound nutrients and also to reduce the size of the particles. Then the second factor affecting SSF is particle size of the substrate, then water content and AW of the substrate, relative humidity, the type and size of inoculum, control of temperature of fermenting matter or removal of metabolic heat, then period of cultivation, maintenance of uniformity in the environment of SSF system, then the gaseous atmosphere, that is oxygen consumption rate and carbon dioxide evolution rate. So these are the factors that affect SSF. Then what are the applications of SSF? Well-known microbial processes such as composting, silage production, and mushroom cultivations are examples for SSF. Then familiar Western foods such as mold ripened cheese, bread, sausages, and many foods of Asian origin including miso, tempeh, soy sauce, angkok or Chinese red rice are produced using SSF. Beverages produced using SSF include onjom in Indonesia, Shao Haising wine, Koliang liquor in China, and sake in Japan. Besides this, solid state fermentations are used to produce a myriad of products such as enzymes. Enzymes such as amylases, proteases, lipases, pectinases, tannases, cellulases, and rennet. Then organic acids such as oxalic acid, citric acid, and lactic acid. Then antibiotics such as penicillin, oxytetracycline. Then pigments, aromas and flavor compounds, ethanol, gibberellic acid, which is a plant hormone. Then protein enriched agricultural residues uh, for use as animal feeds, then dye decolorization, biobleaching, biopulping, and bioremediation. So these are the applications of solid state fermentations. Then the advantages of SSF. What are the advantages of solid state fermentations? We can use a variety of natural substrates as fermentation media. Many domestic, industrial, and agricultural wastes can be efficiently used as substrates in SSF, and useful products can be generated out of these waste products. Then low technology, low energy expenditure, and requires less capital investment. No need for sterilization, less microbial contamination, and easy downstream processing. Then yield of the product is reasonably high. Then the bioreactor design, aeration process, and effluent treatments are quite simple. And coming to the limitations, only microbes that can tolerate low moisture content can be used in SSF. Precise monitoring and control of fermentation process is not possible with SSF. Growth rate of microbes on solid substrates is low. Scale up of fermentation process is difficult. Fermentation produces excessive heat and it is very difficult to regulate the growth environment. Sometimes bacterial contamination may create problems. And the last type of fermentation is submerged fermentations. Submerged fermentations are those in which the nutrient substratum is liquid, that is, we use liquid medium, and the organisms grow inside the medium or substratum. We can use a variety of liquid media such as molasses, broths, and fruit juices. Most of the industrial fermentations are of this type. Fermentation is usually carried out in large fermenters with volumes of up to 1000 cubic meters, and several types of fermenters are used for submerged fermentation. The most commonly used type of fermenter is stir tank bioreactor. And submerged fermentation can be carried out in batch, fed batch, or continuous modes. This is the diagram of a typical stir tank bioreactor. Now let's see what are the important structural components of a fermenter, of a stir tank bioreactor. This is an upright closed cylindrical tank. It consists of mechanical agitators or impellers for aeration and agitation. Then it also consists of a device for introducing sterile air. This device is known as spargers, and there are several types of spargers such as orifice sparger, porous sparger, and nozzle spargers. Then baffles, it consists of baffles. Baffles are the metal strips attached to fermenter walls to prevent vortex. Then a water jacket or coil for heating and cooling. These are the structural parts of a stir tank bioreactor. Then most of the modern fermenters are highly automated with provision for monitoring and control of different process parameters such as pH, oxidation reduction potential, dissolved oxygen, temperature, etc. Then applications of submerged fermentation. It is used for the production of various secondary metabolites that need to be used in liquid form. It is also used for the industrial production of microbial enzymes. So that's about surface, submerged, and solid state fermentations. So watch this video. Thank you.